So when is it the best time to sell your stock? What's going on, team? It's Ricky here with another video, and this is a question that I get so often. I'm going to ask you a couple of discovery questions so you can have a better understanding of why I'm saying what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I'm a big believer in, there's so many different ways on how to make money in the market. I just want you to understand the why. I don't think that the way that I do things is something that should be done by everyone or that everyone has to see eye to eye with me. But I think that after I explain my thought process, you will understand why I think it's always best to lock in profits big picture. I'm going to ask you a very simple question, and you guys can share your funniest, now laughing at it, experience down below. I know that I've experienced this firsthand, so I don't ever want you to think that the way that I trade or the way that I even started was perfect by any means. I've made so many mistakes. And with that being said, how many times have you had a goal of $100 a day, right? Or a $500 trade, a $1,000 trade? You're so close, right? So you're approaching $500, you're like up 480, and you're like $20 more. All I need to do is make $20 more and I will hit my goal of $500 profit for the day. And then guess what happens? Of course, because the market is against us, right? Always. We get really close to $500 and then boom, it just crashes. And a simple question to ask yourself is, no, the market's not against you. But one thing that you have to understand is the amount that you are up or down on your trade is irrelevant to the market, right? I'm irrelevant to the market. You're irrelevant to the market. Imagine trading solely based off of how much you're up or down. Think about it. If you actually think about it, it's actually kind of foolish. And I've made this mistake so many times. Not only have I made this mistake, sometimes I do get super excited when I hit those $1,000 days that, I try to maybe hold that stock for a little bit longer than I know I should have. And I want to give you a real world example of this. So I actually wanted to share this with you. I recently traded Airbnb. I made a little bit over $1,000, but I wasn't even paying attention to my P&L, which is my profit or loss for the day, right? I made $1,100 day trading Airbnb. I actually made this in about 7 minutes of trading. For a little backstory, Airbnb was reporting earnings. If you're part of my Learn Plan Profit 2.0 team, we knew about this earnings report. I don't like trading or holding a stock during earnings. I like trading it, right? My intention is to buy and sell that stock within the same day, within a couple of minutes, if anything. Why? Well, when a stock reports earnings, if it's good earnings and it beats expectation and its guidance is good, the stock can skyrocket, right? Just as the stock can dump. One of the main reasons that I don't like holding a stock during earnings. So what I did was I waited for confirmation. Airbnb was having a bullish day. It was up like 4 or 5% already on the day. I didn't make 1 penny off of that. And right when they reported earnings, the stock began to rise. It was up about 2 to almost 3%. By the time that I entered, it was already above 185. That's when I took my first 100 share. I then bought more at 186. It hit highs of 194.80, as you guys can see, right? And guess what I did? I decided to lock in profits early, allowing me to walk away with $1,100 profit. Shortly after, understanding based off of my experience that this stock probably wasn't going to hold up here for a very long time, it quickly began to pull back. A quick question you might have is, Ricky, how did you know that it was going to pull back? I didn't. I mean, Airbnb could have shot up to 200. All I knew is that Airbnb, the only reason that it was going up was due to earnings. And like we've said many times before on this channel, any reaction is an overreaction in the stock market. So it's definitely something to take into consideration of when something is almost too good to be true and you are up a decent dollar amount within a very short period of time, sometimes the stocks tend to correct themselves. And then that's where you see these quick pullbacks. And again, it's going back to the very principle of my intention was not to invest in Airbnb, right? If I would have invested in them, I would have bought them before they reported earnings. I would have not cared, right? My intention was to day trade. So if my intention was to day trade, to get in and get out and make a profit, then why am I going to nickel and dime this stock when it's already at overbought levels, it's experiencing and showing signs of a resistance level where it makes sense to lock in profits. If you're part of my Learn Plan Profit group, you would have seen my entries and my exits for this specific trade in 7 minutes, walking away with $1,000 profit. It's not because I'm crazy good. This trade could have gone really bad. I could have held for 5 or 10 more minutes and it would have been back to 186. Again, ask yourself one simple question. Looking back, based off of your track record, do you feel like you miss out on stocks by not being invested in them or selling too soon? Or do you sometimes not sell soon enough and end up holding the bag, meaning that you were up, but now you're in the red? I knew that in my experience, I can easily speak for myself and say, hey, I get caught more times holding the bag than I do, oh man, I should have held a little bit longer. At the end of the day, if I walk away with some profit, I'm a happy camper. Yeah, it would have been nice to make a couple more bucks, but think about it. What you're trading with right now is not what you could be trading with in the future. So why are you overcomplicating it? You still made money. It's still a lesson learned. It's something that you can improve on the next trade. It's all about perspective, right? But if you don't lock in profits, you end up holding the bag and you ride it all the way back down, that will discourage you. You'll never get to your future self where you begin to trade with more money because you're going to say that the market's rigged, that this is not a market that I want to partake in, and you feel like the market's against you. Again, I felt that way. So it's no different. I'm speaking from my experience. All I ever want you to understand is how important for you to understand your intention. If your intention is to invest, then invest, right? You shouldn't be looking at the day-to-day activity. If your intention is to day trade, then day trade. Formulate a plan, entry, exit, stop loss, forms of risk management, position size, all factors that you take into consideration, and you stick to it with proper execution. This is something that you have to hold yourself accountable in doing. And again, it's something over time when looking back, yeah, I could have made a little bit more money maybe trading Airbnb if I would have held a little bit longer, if I would have bought a couple of more shares. But I don't want to live my life thinking about what I could have done better in the past, but what I can always improve on in the future. And I think that's what's always best. And ask yourself again, do you see yourself holding the bag more often than selling early? And if so, then maybe locking in profits early and or even for a break even is an improvement. And that's a step in the right direction. One of the things that I did want to give at least a huge shout out for is what trading platform am I using right now? This is the Moomoo trading platform, and it's a free trading platform available in the US. Again, right now they're having a huge promotion and giving away 5 free stocks up to $3,500 per stock. So again, if you guys make $3,500 off of one stock, I am going to ask you to share some of it with me if you're kind enough. But again, 5 free stocks just for downloading the platform and all the different incentives that they have for signing up. If you want to learn more about that, click that first link in the description. And I am hosting my own giveaway for a random person that signs up using my Moomoo link. Not only will you get those great up to 5 free stocks, but I'm also going to be giving away $1,000 cash of my own money, again, to one lucky person by the end of February. So if you've been looking for a new trading platform, just a heads up, you can have more than just one trading platform. And you like how this looks, not only do they have the desktop version, but of course they have the mobile app as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about it and earn your free stocks, please take 1 minute, click the first link down below, and learn a little bit more about the value that Moomoo can bring to you. I really do appreciate you guys' time. If you do end up downloading the Moomoo app, please comment down below "done" an effort to partake in my $1,000 giveaway. I hope that you guys can consider subscribing. I hope that I earned a thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.